LG's new G4 aims to take the best of the past two devices, the G3 and the G Flex 2, and make them into one super device. Hey, what's up guys, it's Neowin here for Neowin, bringing you a first look at the LG G4 from the G4 event in London. Right, so the first thing we'll notice about the G4 is that it still has the same kind of style that the G3 did. We've got the front dominated by a large 5.5-inch quad HD display with 2560 by 1440 pixel resolution. That's approximately 534 pixels per inch density. And given that LG have been done really well with the bezels, it's pretty bezel-less at both the bottom and the top, and it's almost bezel-less on the sides. We've got a 74.3% screen-to-body ratio, which is probably one of the best on the market. Moving on, and we'll see we've got this lovely curved design, and this is where the G4 combines the G Flex 2 and the G3, in that it takes the fully curved handset, which was the G Flex 2, and the non-curves at all of the G3, and combines them into something that's so subtly curved it feels completely natural in the hand like this. It's actually really nice to use, and probably nicer than the G3 was to use as well. Sticking with the front of the handset, up top we've got an 8 megapixel front-facing camera which shoots 1080p full HD video at 30 frames per second. It's going to be great for selfies. If we move on to the side here, and this is one thing that's kind of been symbolized by LG's G range, specifically with the G3, which has really taken on the idea of making the bezels and the handset as thin as possible. How does it do that? Well, basically there's no bezels and no buttons at all on the sides at all. Up top, we've got an IR blaster, which is to control your home appliances, such as your TV. And at the bottom, we've got the headphone jack and the micro USB 2 port. You may be asking, what about the power and the volume keys? Well, this is where the G range really comes into force, because on the back, we have this lovely, unique power combo that's just been slightly refined back after the G3. It has the same style in that we've got the power button here and the volume keys right underneath the camera, which has been upgraded, but I'll talk about that in a second. And what you'll find is, whilst it's there, it really does fit exactly where my finger would be. So turning the handset on and off is really that simple. And you don't really struggle to find it when you're groping around the back, because it's recessed just enough that you can feel the power button and notice exactly where it is. Moving to the back and the camera, and what we've got here is a rather unique kind of combo. We've got a 16 megapixel sensor with f1.8 aperture, means we've got great colors and great light. We've also got laser autofocus, which uses phase detection, but we've also got a color spectrum to really deliver those amazing colors that we really want from a quad HD device. The display itself and the color spectrum are really that good that LG claimed this has matches 98% of the DCI standard used in television and cinema. As a comparison, something like the Super AMOLED on, say, the Galaxy S6 Edge actually goes above the mark that's considered the DCI standard. And what this basically means is the G4 is going to deliver them an experience that's almost identical to the colors and the reproduction you'd find, say, on a camera. Like when you're going to watch a film or watching a 2K or a 4K video film on your TV. To access the camera is really also quite easy, because we've seen the likes of Samsung and others do a double tap to wake the camera quickly. Well, the camera will focus within 0.6 seconds. But the good thing is, if you want to take a shot, all you got to do is double press. It pulls it up and snaps the picture at the same time. Now, this might be a little bit awkward when it comes to actually taking a picture, because you've got to kind of hold it straight for a little while. But the good thing is, it still does load, and it's ready to shoot another picture straight away. So, alongside the camera, we've actually also got a dual LED True Tone flash, and what this is it uses one white flash and one color flash to give as warm a temperature as possible. Whereas normally we've seen flashes that will really light up a scene, often lead to washed out colors. The idea behind the dual LED True Tone flash is to give as lifelike a possible image whilst also illuminating the scene so you can actually see what's going on. And that's a quick look there at the camera. You'll notice I've left the back of the G4 to the last, and there's a reason for this, because just before the launch, well, a little while before the launch, LG kind of leaked and announced this all new array of leather back covers for the G4. Well, that was part of the microsite anyway. And what we've got here is we've got a leather cover with a black stitching. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but we've got quite a nice finish. The back it is actually real leather and not faux leather, as we've previously seen on something like the Galaxy Note 3 example. And we've got the stitching down the middle. As someone put it to me earlier, it kind of looks like an American football, doesn't it? It's just one example. But that being said, it's still quite nice, and in the hand, the leather feels really quite nice, and it's actually quite grippy, which is what you'd hopefully expect from a leather bag. If leather's not your thing, or you want to save all the cows in the world, well, hey, there's also other options. The leather will be available in other colours. We've also got a plastic titanium finished rear cover as well. So there's something for everyone with the G4. So underneath this leather back cover, or the plastic one if you go for it, we have a 3000 milliamp hour battery, a micro SD card slot, because yes, the G4 comes with expandable storage. It comes with 32 gigabytes internal, but they've still kept expandable storage. That's pretty good, right guys? Because let's be honest, everyone else seems to be doing away with it. I, for one, absolutely love it. So we've got a 3000 milliamp hour battery. We've also got Qi wireless charging built in. Now this is really handy because it means you no longer need to plop a cable in, and it uses a slim port USB 2 cable. No need to try and put it in the dark, just pop it on top of a table, and hey, we're good to go. The other notable thing is it uses a nano SIM, and it's not waterproof, but that's not exactly a bad thing. But the good thing about removable back covers is you can just pop the cover on, and if you do decide that you want something for a different outfit, say leather for when you're going out so it looks a little bit more stylish, but the titanium finished plastic for the day-to-day, well hey, just buy multiple covers, pop the other one on, and you're sorted. And that's a quick look. So I'm basically now going to quickly wrap up some of the other features that we haven't really touched on. And one of them is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 processor. It doesn't run an 805, it doesn't run an 810, it runs the 808. Now what is the 808? Well, LG announced that they've worked really, really closely with Qualcomm to deliver this Snapdragon 808 processor and optimize it the best they can for the G4 handset itself. This is similar to how Samsung has done with, say, something like the Galaxy S6 Edge, which uses Samsung's own Exynos processor and has been really optimized for the handset it's meant to be. It's a strategy that's worked really, really well for Apple and the iPhone and the A8 processor, or the A7, depending on which iPhone you have. But what we're hoping here is that this alleviates some of the concerns with the 810, which was overheating, but also delivers this really amazing kind of performance. From first glance, there's no lag at all, and the G4 is really, really snappy, which is something we really might not have seen in the past. So, the UI, and we've got the GUI 4.0, and the good thing about this is they've gone closer to stock. The UI comes with pretty stock-like features, and LG have done this really cool thing like Sony do, in that they've just added little bits. They haven't attempted to take over the entire UI and make it their own. They've decided that what Google's done is pretty good, and they just want to add a few features, which I really like, because when you're trying to provide this fastest possible experience, you don't really want the Android UI and then your own UI on top. Some of the stuff they have added is deep integration with Google services throughout the entire device. Example, Google Drive is like a default storage on most of LG's own apps, which is great because the G4 comes with 100 gigabytes of Google Drive storage free for 2 years. Again, really good. If you've not used Google Drive before, it is pretty fast. It has its moments, but it's pretty good. And having what is essentially 15 gigs if you've never used it before, plus 100 gig for 2 years, that's 115 gigabyte storage. That's a lot. And now that it has LTE Cat 6, it means you can actually download it up to 300 megabits per second on the go. I've used Cat 6 in London and it never reaches 300 megabits, but we do get about 160, which is technically the real world speed. 160 megabits per second, that's like more than twice faster than my home broadband. Well, it's about twice the speed of my home broadband, which is phenomenal off a phone. Come on guys, this is amazing. And yeah, it's our first look at the LG G4. Really, what they've done is, instead of looking to completely revamp the entire handset, LG have taken the best bits of the G3, the really nice curved design of the G Flex 2, and combined it into a handset that has mass market appeal. G4's coming out in a range of colours, range of finishes, in June, and I'll bring you a full-on kind of hands-on, a full more in-depth look at the handset in a review at a later date. For now, thanks for watching. Please hit the like button. Do check out my actual hands-on with the G4 and some of the images of the other colours, and stay tuned because we've got a lot more on the G4 coming to you soon. Until next time.